guys. It's me again, old Terry, here to visit with you, and we're going to talk about worship through Jesus' eyes and why it matters. So today I want to talk about Psalm 127. The first verse says this. It says, let me look at my notes because I'm not a brilliant genius yet. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. Now, I don't know about you, but I love coming home and coming to my house. My house is the place where I can kick off my shoes. I can wear sweats and not have to dress up. I love the idea of house. And when I come home, I love the idea that this is a place where I can rest, a place where I can really be real. It's interesting to me because the word house in Psalm 127, there's this, unless the Lord builds the house, doesn't actually mean the building. Sometimes we get that word house kind of goofy because we only see it from our Western view, which means it's a building where you go. But the Hebrews thought of house in a different way. It was much more emotional. It was much more, I don't know if it's visceral or whatever, but it was something that had more to do with it than just the structure of a roof and walls. So this idea of house, like even, there's a scripture that says, my house shall be called a house of prayer. It doesn't mean a building. It means a household of prayer. This has to do with everything about that the people are the household. How do I know that? Because of these funny little signs right here. The sign right here and this sign right here are pictographs from ancient Semitic writings. Now, these things don't work for every word, but they are very helpful with us sometimes in certain words. And so this word is read from this side to this side. Now, I'm not sure if that's right or left for you, but there you go. This right here is the picture of a tent. This is where the Jews lived. This is where the Hebrews lived. They lived in tents. They didn't have like brick houses, ancient ones, okay? And then this looks like a cross, but it doesn't represent to them what it means to us today. Today, that's very Christian nomenclature. But this is really represents something that's marked for a specific purpose. So the word house is not just the tent, it's the people inside the tent. It's the household. And the household is marked. It is marked as the place where people's hearts are alive. This is the place of living hearts, living things that are real and rich and, lasagna at 5:00 in the afternoon. I don't know. Things that are very touchable, very real. So every house has a kind of a character of its own. Like the house I live in, I like kind of plain colors, and I don't like much on the walls. It reflects my character. I have a friend who loves flowers and flowery things, and everything's floral, and she loves that. It reflects her personality. There's a house in the United States called the Vanderbilt Mansion, and the Vanderbilts were very rich people, and that place is ostentatious. It's full of sparkly things and big and beautiful furniture and all kinds of artwork. That's my dog barking, don't worry, okay? And then, like for example, Solomon decided he was going to build God a house. Okay, it's all right, puppy. That's my dog, Dorothy Doolittle. No, her name is Dorothy Dignitary. And she's dreaming right now. Can you hear her barking? Maybe you can. Anyway, so what we have here is we have Solomon decides, I'm going to build a house for God. And God had given specific directions about what should be in the tent, but Solomon kind of went over the top and made the house reflect his own personality and his own tastes, if you will. So what is the point then, Terry? What are you talking about here? Unless the Lord builds the house, unless the Lord builds me and the people around me, labor in vain. I am marked, as are you, as a worshiper, to be lived in by God. And your heart should look it's marked by Him. And so the specificness of God's mark in our life comes when we obey God. And this idea of having a house of God is also reflected in the New Testament. Jesus says, in my Father's house, that would mean in my Father's household, in the group of people that belong to my dad, in my Father's household, there are many mansions. So what Jesus is saying, that he's not saying in my Father's big building, you're going to have an apartment. He's saying in my Father's household, there are many mansions. Now that word mansions backs up in several languages if you go back to the very etymology of the word, and it means in my Father's house, there are many places called the Holy of Holies. That's you and me. That's you and me. We are the Holy of Holies. And so, unless the Lord builds this house, unless he changes me, unless he changes your family, we labor in vain. Isn't this fun to learn this stuff? I think it's fantastic and fascinating. So if you like being a part of these lessons, which I love doing, and hearing my dog in her dreams kind of bark, if you want to be a part of that, please give us a like and give us a subscribe, because I want to start doing some longer videos and some longer teachings and offer you some classes with credit. So if you'll be happy doing that for me, I'll be happy taking it, okay? So the song is Make My Life Worship, and that's the reason I wrote it. Because I want my whole life to worship him. Make my life worship, not just in songs I sing, but Jesus in everything. Make my life worship, let my whole life worship you. So until next time, take care of yourselves, little chickens, and I'll see you for the next exciting video. Bye. Make my life worship, not just in songs I sing, but Jesus in